Hi there, good morning. Today I'm going to be talking about my Surly Midnight Special. And I've had this for a little bit over a year, I would say almost a year and a half now. And it's a size 50. And the reason why I went with the size 50 versus a 54 is I have about a 30-inch inseam, and the top tube to the ground is right around 30 and a half. So when I'm wearing shoes, it's like perfect. And I have actually in reality I have about an inch or so of clearance, because the top tube slightly goes down from horizontal. So yeah, the frame has been really good. The reason why I chose this frame is simply because of the tire clearance. So right now I have some WTB Byways, and so you can see I have plenty of clearance. I've actually put on 2.25 inch on the tires, and they fit also. They're pretty close and pretty tight, but they fit. So I'll start kind of like with the major components first, which is the wheel set. The wheel set I actually had custom made, and they're from Hed, and they're the Belgium Pluses. They're laced to some white Industries hubs in chrome or silver. And I also picked out the spokes, which are Sapin CX-Rays, and they're bladed, and also with brass nipples. Apparently they're anti-corrosion, so should be good for a while. Same with the front. Those are 32 spokes in the back, 28 spokes in the front. Same deal with white Industries hubs. All right, and the unique thing about this build is I did get a custom, it's not a custom, it's a fork on eBay from Tideace, Tideace. And the reason why I did this is particularly I wasn't interested in the steel fork because of the weight and just the way that it looked. So I ended up getting a carbon fork on eBay for like maybe it was on sale for like 80 bucks or 85 bucks. I have almost 1,000 miles on this bike and with this fork the whole time, and I haven't had any issues with it. It's carbon, so I do try to be careful in terms of making sure that I take care of it and make sure that the stem bolts are tightened to the proper specs. And I check it, not frequently, but I check it every once in a while to make sure there's no cracks or anything like that. It's a 15 millimeter through axle. And this through axle, which I particularly don't like about this, is that it's proprietary, or at least I believe it is. It has a screw nut on this side, and it has a quick release on this side. So would like to get a Paul Clamper's version of it, but I don't know if that's going to really fit, so haven't really tested it out. All right, so then the cockpit here, I have Velo orange. These are the 46 centimeter wide handlebars, and I like them because if you look at them from the top, they have a little bit of a sweep back, and then the drops are pretty compact, so very good for gravel riding, like what I'm doing today. I actually have the Thomson stem. I believe this is about 100 millimeter stem in silver, and I have a spur cycle bell in silver, and Chinelli bar tape, and I have a Chris King headset. This is an Inset 7. It's actually the same as the Karate Monkey. And then I also have a Thomson seat post, and it's also in silver. My saddle here is a Brooks Cambium C13, and that is with carbon rails. So it's pretty light, it's pretty comfortable. I would say it's a little bit more stiffer than the C15 that I have on my other bikes. Tires I'm running on this is a Byways, WTB Byways, and they're 47 millimeters wide, and they're pretty accurate in terms of its width. I've taken a caliper and it's right around that same width. let's see here. So gearing here, I'm running a Ultegra shifters, Brifters. They're actually from my old road bike, so I just kind of did a hand-me-down. They work right good. They're utilitarian, no problems. Let's see here. My front crank is a G30 White Industries crank, and it's 170 millimeters long, and I have a 36 tooth up front, and my rear derailleur is a Ultegra RX derailleur. And despite what people say, it does fit a 32 tooth cog on the back. This is a I think it's the XT cassette, and it goes from 11 speed all the way up to 42. And so with that gear range, 36 up front with the 42 in the back, I can pretty much get up anything. I do spin out on the flats if we're going downhill, but it has to be pretty fast in terms of a pretty steep downhill for me to spin out. So for me, it's okay. The RX derailleur does have a clutch here, so engaged off, engage it on. So yeah, that's the drivetrain there. So for brakes, I have Paul clampers, and they are post mount. I went with post mount simply because at the time that I bought these, Paul did not have flat mount available. So I just ended up getting these. I did a little custom mod here. You can see that this normally was orange, which I always kind of didn't really like on this bike. And so I actually polished it. And believe it or not, oven cleaner takes off anodized colors. So if you can Google that and you can see for yourself how that works. The rear is the same. And then I also got the Paul Thru Axle. This is a 12, I think it's a 10 millimeter Thru Axle. It could be 12, I forgot. And this is a Paul Components Thru Axle. And again, I did a custom mod on this too. This used to be orange right here where the polished area is. And then you can see that I have a post mount adapter for because the frame is actually a flat mount. Right now I'm running MKS pedals on this, but this is just because I let a buddy test ride it and he had flats. So I normally run Crank Brothers egg beaters, and it has kind of like the turquoise coloring on it too with silver, so it kind of matches the bike. Again, I'm running the stainless steel bottle cages from King Cage, and yeah, I'm pretty happy overall with the bike. Right now I do have a frame bag on it, which is from Outer Shell. Outer Shell is a company from San Francisco, and they do really, really good quality work. Let's kind of see what I'm keeping inside. I actually do have a ringtail a saddle bag that I just threw in here. It was good during the winter time that I had this because I could throw my gloves in there. There's been times where I lost my gloves, so just kind of wanted to keep that on for good measure. For the summer, I might take it off if I don't need it, but for now it's on. Another kind of small details that I have here is SimWorks bar end plugs. They're essentially made by Nitto, N-I-T-T-O. So that kind of brings in that silver look. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really about it. If you have any questions, comments, want to know more details about the bike, let me know. Just wanted to do a quick bike check on here on what it's doing. The bottom bracket's also Chris King too, for the 30 millimeter spindle. Stock seat collar. Yeah, I think that's about it. So please let me know if you have any questions, and like this video if you found it interesting and it helps you. Bye-bye.